What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are back at the C10. Gonna take this off the engine stand, set it down there for now, and then we're gonna go ahead and get to pulling this thing, and then we'll start tearing it down. Basically, all we got left is alternator bracket, headers, so we'll have to drop the exhaust down there, engine mount bolts, a couple little vacuum lines, and then the bell housing bolts, torque converter bolts, and it's out. So not a whole lot left there. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing off the stand for now, and then we'll dig into that. And we'll get on to this. Probably time lapse a bunch of this because it's all just kind of tedious stuff and there's nothing real hard. 6 bolts there, 6 bolts there, 2 bolts there, bell housing bolts, and torque converter bolts, like I said, and then we'll get the engine plate on there and we'll probably pull the truck forward and yank this out. So here we go. Alright, quick update. Exhaust, all 3 foot of it, off of there. Bell housing bolts, except for the top 2, are out. Torque converter bolts are out. So, I think everything down there is good. We're gonna let it back down. Get the top 2 bell housing bolts, get the dipstick out of there, get the headers off, take the mount bolts out. Should be good to go. Alright, so motor mount bolts are out, bell housing bolts are out, obviously headers are off, so nothing to it now but to yank it out. So here we go. And of course, I always forget something. Pull the oil pressure line off of there real quick.
Shut up and sit down.
Well, with the exception of getting coolant absolutely everywhere, pretty easy, straightforward, nothing to it. So that is it for tonight. We'll be back in just a few seconds for you guys. Tomorrow night, I imagine I'm gonna go ahead and tear this down, see what we got going on, and then we will decide from there if we're gonna swap everything over to that one, or if we're gonna fix this one up and throw her back in. Alright everybody, we are back. We got the 327 torn down just a little bit, as you saw with the time lapse there. Now I don't know if on the video of doing the top end, if we showed with the valve covers off or not. We did have them off. It was not this nasty in here. So lately, I don't know if a couple of oil changes has broken some stuff up. This engine did sit for quite a while. It's just pretty nasty. I don't know, there's big flakes here and there. There's just a whole bunch of buildup. And then the problematic cylinder, number 8 over here, you can see in that oil drain there is a piece of something that obviously is sticking that up just a little bit. I mean, I don't think it's enough to impede flow that much, but there's just a whole bunch of gunk in here. I'm sure this didn't help things. Whether it actually hindered things, I don't know, but I don't know if you can see down there, it's not the greatest. So yeah, I don't really know what went on here, but that's where we stand anyway. So at this point, just with all the sludge and junk and everything that's being seen in here, kind of looks like the 350 is going to be the one that goes back in the C10. So I don't know, we're gonna get her down a little further here and just kind of see what we got going on and see if we can't find anything else. So probably jump back to some time lapse, See what we got going on. All right, everybody, we are back. I have got this thing all together. Water pump on, fuel pump, intake, all the good stuff's on here, ready to go. I'm gonna plop this back in there, get our bell housing bolts all in, engine mount bolts, torque converter bolts, and then we'll time lapse all that. Stick with me through the time lapses, guys. I know there's a lot of those, but we'll get it in here and we'll get her done. But we'll time lapse that, and then I'll probably just go ahead and slam everything back together, and then we will be back when it's all ready to fire up, and we'll get a first fire video, and then maybe we'll go drive it. And there you have it. Quick and easy. All back in there, so we'll start buttoning her up. And then I suppose next time you see it, it'll be all back together. And we'll be ready to fire this thing up, and you can hear what that cam sounds like, and then we can see how it drives, and it'll be a lot better than the 327 that was peeking oil everywhere. So just a second, guys, and we'll be right back. And there it is, all buttoned up. Everything is on there, ready to go. There is no coolant in it quite yet, and I have the ignition wire pulled so that we can crank on it a little bit, make sure oil gets up in where it needs to be. It's full of oil, headers are tight, intake, bell housing bolts, all that good stuff's tight. So I'm gonna crank on it a little bit. Still is just open header, so when it fires up here in a little bit, it's probably gonna be loud and might set off an alarm, but we'll crank on it and make sure it cranks good, and maybe we'll get some oil pressure. Or we won't get anything. So I guess I should probably check into that, and we'll be right back. All right, so quick and easy fix, pretty sure. All the equipment starters that I deal with at work all the time, they have two terminals on the starter, or on the solenoid, an S and an R, and the S is always your excite or start wire. For some reason, I think this one's backwards, because I'm pretty sure the R is on the inside, and I'm pretty sure that's what I took it off of, but I had it on the outside. I think that's what's going on. So we'll jump in here and see if we can't get any oil pressure if it does crank up. Got lights. There it goes. Starting to get oil pressure there, so we'll let it sit a little bit. We will crank it a little more, get some oil moving around in the lifters and up in the valve train on that other side that I didn't fill with, and then we will cut back to this. I'll plug that ignition back in and try and fire up, see what it sounds like. All right, so ignition is plugged in, and I believe everything is good to go. Looked it over again, made sure that everything seems okay. Like I said, it doesn't have coolant in it, and I haven't timed it with the timing light or anything, obviously, because it hasn't ran, but I did advance it just a little bit. Hopefully help it get started here, and we'll see if this thing will come to life after several years of sitting, and see if it'll give this truck some more road time. So here goes nothing. Oh, got a little bit. Oh. I think timing's probably off a little bit. Yeah, we'll dial some timing in and see if we can't get some life. Got good fuel pressure. So let's see here. Advance it just a little more. I know it's probably close, but it wants it. Almost. Go a little more. Say I didn't have it absolutely perfect when I dropped that in, so might be off a little bit. Well, it runs. Obviously, it needs a little bit of timing work, but that cam sounds good. It always has. So, my dipstick must have been in backwards. That's no good. But anyhow, yeah, needs a little bit of timing work, and then we'll get it idling. We'll get some coolant in it. I got some smoke just coming off the headers from when I spilled some oil. We'll get some coolant in it. We'll get it timed, and then we'll cut back to it idling, and maybe we'll take it for a rip around the block or something, and see how it does. So, all right, so it's timed, coolant's in it, everything's all good, and we got an issue. So this valve cover, see that oil spot on the header, not sealing, it's kind of puking out. That's no big deal. All right, I can handle that. But I started up and I'll show you what we're dealing with here. And maybe one of you guys ran into this before, and maybe you know the fix. Not very happy about it, but the only thing we can do is move forward, figure out what's going on, and remedy it. So I'll show you what's going on here. I'll get it started. Runs great. Sounds good. The intake is leaking like it was on the last one. The thing sounds great, runs awesome, but that oil leak is not gonna fly because obviously it's not gonna get any better. I might try and put a heat cycle through it, reseal this valve cover here. Maybe the gasket will kind of do whatever it needs to do, but kind of discouraging, not gonna lie. But I'll see what I can do on that, and we will go from there. So not gonna get to drive it in this video, but man, it does sound good. So try and get that figured out, and then when we get that done, get the exhaust back on it. Might just leave the hood off of it for now, I don't know, put it back on, whatever, and then we will go from there. That's gonna do it for this episode, guys. I appreciate you sticking around through all my rambling and the time lapses and all of that. We will get this thing going. Like I said, I just gotta figure out that oil leak problem. If I have to, I'll take all this back off and we'll just putty the crap out of it and slap it back on there. But I don't have to do that. I don't really want to, but we'll take it through, take a few heat cycles through it and see if it gets better. If it doesn't, then we'll worry about it. But one last thing before we go. My buddy Nate hooked me up, and we got some seats for the Chevelle. So comment below, do you think we should put the headrest on them and put them in that way? Or should we take the headrest off and have them as a kind of a low back bucket like that? I'm gonna have to get some bracketry figured out to see if we can't try and utilize the holes that should be in there, and we'll get some measurements off of the old seat, maybe even try and take the old seat brackets off and I don't know, run it across underneath. If we need to, we'll figure something out, but I think they match pretty good. They're pretty cool looking seats, so we'll do that. And then like I said, that'll probably be temporary, and then knowing me, it'll just be permanent. But for now, that could get us driving anyway, and then maybe this intake won't leak oil like that one. But like I said, that is it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will keep all of this stuff coming to you. We've got big things coming. I know we got a few trips coming up, and then which things keep going the way they're going, we'll be taking that. Got some side-by-side stuff coming up, and then yeah, just share if you would. That always helps, and then we'll keep this coming for you guys.